Hey guys, I'm out here on a Hickory trail at the Highlands Hammock State Park. So let's take a walk. This trail is designed for viewership of your pleasure of all sorts of highland habitat. You have your saber palms, which are the taller ones. You have your palmetto palms, which are the shorter ones. And you're gonna notice one thing, that nothing really grows underneath the palm trees, because what they do is they overtake the tree canopy. And our friend red-shouldered hawk is back. He's been fighting a couple of owls. I got some pictures of him and owls from the previous trail. And interesting, they have nests in here, and I've seen multiples. There's been this, we're at the end of April. I guess it's about the time when chickadees are ready to fledge, so they're extra protective. Now remember how I told you from previous videos how the bark falls off? And this is a good example. In order for the palm tree to look like that, stuff has to fall off of it, and this is a perfect example. If you plan to come to this trail, do keep an eye on the sun. This trail is a little bit more sunny, and when it's nice and toasty, it just gets really hot. But surprisingly, in this park they have mosquito control. Gotta say, this is one of the few parks I've seen that has mosquito control. The post purple triangular boxes. Look at that, just pure jungle. Alright, before I was so rudely interrupted by a dead battery, let's get back to it. Same trail. I was just saying how thick of a jungle this is. Perfect habitat for something like a Florida brown bear or even a panther. You can't see anything through it. Look at that. And of course, mosquitoes indicate that we're coming up on a wet spot somewhere. Look at that. This is a good example of the state of palm trees. They're actually, they're resilient to nature, but they're really not strong with respect to actually anchoring themselves in. And so, if you look here, this is actually the core of a palm tree. It's very like ours. See how on a traditional tree you would expect to see rings, whereas on a palm tree they're actually shooting up. Like, see all this stuff up here? See how soft it is? You could actually pluck this off with your hands. And that's the reason why it's so easy to break them off. But on the bright side, this makes perfect for composting toilets and perfect for firewood and stuff like that. And here we have a clearing. And we might see an orange tree up here somewhere. A lot of the older trees, they have fungus growing off of them, so nature is already coming back and reclaiming it, creating habitats for armadillos and bunnies and things that like to live in trees, and dead trees especially. Yeah, it's just amazing how, here's a good example. This is a palm tree that fell, sable palm. There's really nothing that's holding it in place. That's why you see so many of them topple over. See this? So in previous video I've mentioned that palm trees were used for just about everything, and one of the properties of a palm tree, because it's so soft, the cannonballs actually used to bounce off from the palm tree instead of penetrating it, which is why in early forts in the state of Florida they used to build forts out of palm trees. They're easy to lay down, as evident by the amount of them on the floor. They're very soft. Oh, looky, what do we have here? Wow, there's a massive oak. Look at that. That thing must be probably 20 feet around. Really big. Imagine having like a tree house over there. And of course, massive tree system. This is about as big as you could get on the East Coast. If you ever find yourself on the other coast, that's where the big stuff is, the redwood trees and stuff. So there's obviously been fire here, with a chunk of the tree missing. And given by the state of the tree, I'd say it's gonna start falling apart fairly soon. Oh, there's another lizard. What's up, Mr. Lizard? Say hello. See how big it is. Let me point the camera just to get you. Look at that. Here's another palm tree with a giant hole in there. Now, I don't know if camera is picking this up, but oh, look at that orange tree. I wasn't gonna talk about an orange tree now, but see that giant hole in there in the tree? Well, my guess is there's a void going all the way from the top all the way down. And I've seen quite a few massive trees like that here, where the park has tried to salvage them by shoving in pipes in concrete. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna show that to you hopefully in this video. But we even have oranges up here. And let's go further down the trail. This trail is supposed to connect to like the biggest and the oldest living thing in this park. But I'd say that the biggest and the oldest probably is less exciting. Look at that. Goes all the way up. Really massive. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. This is the sort of massive branch that fell off the tree. There's a lot of that going on. There's another really big tree over there. They're really cool to look at, but the fact that they fall apart like that is what scares me. So many people walking through the park. One day, it just falls. And you hope that you're nowhere near that tree when it does. See how massive the trunk is? And like in this case, what's bizarre is most of its weight on this side. So if it goes, all the branches will go smack right on the trail. That's where I just came from. And you're gonna notice something. See how all that jungle over there suddenly becomes thinner and thinner? Well, there's a reason for that. We are approaching different type of environment. And usually if there's boardwalk, there's bound to be some wet stuff. Look at this. We got very old tree. This is actually a good example. See how it's completely hollow on the inside. But upon its death, there's new stuff that comes back. There's another orange tree in here somewhere. Now this might be a little bit disorienting because yet again they keep making the boardwalks with just one handrail. Just kind of throws you off a little bit. I'm seeing a lot of wet, so it means that this gets flooded seasonally. Crazy squirrels off in the background. Some massive trees over there. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh? So if you truly want to admire something like this, I'm here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and came here Friday evening, so I didn't get to see any of that stuff. But Saturday it was packed. There were a lot of people on the trails. But Sunday is just quiet. Everybody left or is leaving. And you could just enjoy. No cubicles. No research papers to write. Just you in the outdoors. Look at that. That big tree. Here's an oddball tree. Massive tree system. I mean a massive root system. And then the tree is actually going cockeyed over that way. That's why a lot of them fall. Because eventually something is bound to give. See this? Goes diagonally that way. And this here is the so-called 36 feet biggest living oak thing in this place. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when somebody tells me about a 36-foot tree, you expect to see a tree. There's really not much of a tree. And you could see how here they've actually tried to masquerade this tree with concrete and rebar. Just to kind of hold it together. And obviously it wasn't working too well. See how all that stuff fell? There's a massive screw in there. And here you can see how they tried to patch this up. Now it does look cool, don't get me wrong. It's just, it's a pity that they have to resort to it. I mean, seriously, such a beautiful tree. But the fact that it's fallen apart, sometimes it's just not meant to be.